My mom was on the auxiliary, the fire auxiliary. So whenever there was a big fire, she'd get us kids up if it was in the middle of the night, and we would go and get food for the firefighters. One time there was a chimney fire just outside of Sycamore, the small town I grew up outside of, and we got there, and I remember seeing my dad put on his fire helmet and walk up towards the fire. And I remember looking at him knowing, this is what I want to do.
This is more of a passion than a job, and the passion for me has been growing. And I've come to a point in my life where money is not the reason that I want to have a career. It's my passion, so that's why I came here.
It's always kind of been in the back of my head, but I mean, after high school, I really didn't know what to do yet, and then see my brother go through it, and I got on with Shiloh, and I've just enjoyed it since.
I wanted something that at the end of the day, I could be proud of. I could go home and I could make a family out of it. I played rugby in college, so there was a brotherhood there, and I went to a college that was largely all male, and there was a great brotherhood there, and I saw that in the fire service, and I saw that there's the drive, and listening to all the instructors talk about like their job and getting off the truck and going to work and really being proud of what they do. You can see the fire in their eyes, and I loved it. And from day one to now, I'm like, that's it. That's what I wanted to do.
Coming from a small volunteer department, things were done, a certain way, and I never was really opened up to different ways. Coming here has shown me how many different ways you can do things in the fire service. It's not just one way. There's 50 different ways just to roll hose.
It's a lot more technical, and I know people say that, firefighters aren't the smartest breed. I mean, we run in when everyone else is running out. I mean, rats run out of a burning building. But there's so much more there than just the truck, the water, the hose.
I think a lot of the training that stood out to me was certain things such as donning your fire gear. We had an instructor that had us do it his way because it was the right way. And once you sit down and look at how they're doing it, you realize that they're right. That's the way you should be putting your gear on. Same thing goes for hose movement. Anybody can drag a hose, but when they taught us how to move hose, it made it so much easier.
I thought search and rescue was going to be really hard, but I mean, I've heard a lot of people say make sure you're wearing the knee pads and everything because your knees will kill, and I thought it came to me a little bit easier than I thought it was going to.
You can't see anything. And it was 90 some odd degrees that day, so it had to be 100 and some in that maze. So you're sweating, you're out of air, you can't see.
I heard it was going to be awful, one of the worst 3 days, but afterwards, I quite enjoyed search and rescue. It was a blast. I loved ladder maze. That was my favorite day. Ladder maze was my favorite. Going up the aerial was a little shaky, but after you do it 7 or 8 times, it's no big deal.
The one thing that I found that I love, and it kind of happened with ladder maze, and it really happened with PT, is pushing myself.
Moving the hose was probably the hardest day for me. It was definitely all physically challenging, but I was definitely most sore after the hose evolutions.
Live burns were awesome down here. They were realistic. We had the heat and the smoke, watching everybody work together as a team. The instruction we got was excellent. The opportunity to actually go in the room and watch fire behavior and put the fires out, you can't get that training anywhere else.
I got very kid in a candy store-ish, especially when we did the flashover trailer, and actually getting a chance to watch fire kind of dance with the air, and seeing kind of how much of it is of a kind of a live living thing.
It was awesome. They came up with all sorts of different scenarios, different evolutions for us to do. It was a blast. I wish we could burn every day.
The instructors here, they're definitely great. They're very knowledgeable.
Some people do extrication, some people do hoses, some people do hose evolutions or ladders or forcible entry, and they have a passion.
They push you to your limits, and then they push you further. So for the future, you can go further. You can go that extra mile.
The fire and the passion in their eyes is unparalleled.
Some of the best guys I've ever met, I've learned from down here in Ohio Fire Academy, hands down.
Being in this brotherhood is definitely an honor and a privilege. It's not something to not take lightly.
You know, it takes a special class, it takes a special type, it takes a special just personality to do this.
Means to me, definitely the pride of helping people and becoming closer with one another.
Being a firefighter is extraordinary. We do things that normal people wouldn't. We risk our own lives to save other people and their lives. There's no way to explain what we do other than extraordinary.